Dear students and friends, today I will deliver a lecture on mineral exploration. Introduction to mineral exploration. Exploration is the stage in life cycle of any mine. It follows an efficient and comprehensive prospecting program that outlines the promise for a detailed search process for mineral deposit by deploying exploration methods. As such, the exploration is much more refined and comprehensive projection of mineral deposit in comparison to prospecting. Now let us see what are the salient objectives of exploration. The chief objective of an exploration program is to determine the extent and grade of mineral deposit, which in turn implies that we have to provide a precise idea of tonnage and grade of mineral deposits. Additionally, it also helps in estimating the mining costs, evaluating the recovery of valuable minerals, determining environmental management cost. In short, we may conclude that profitability of any mineral deposit is categorically estimated, traded to another party or abandoned, strictly on the basis of evaluations projected by the exploration. A variety of methods are used for analysis of extent and grade of ore body, which will be discussed at later stage. However, at this stage we need to know that samples which are taken for analysis are subjected to following evaluation process for clear analysis. The processes are: number 1, chemical evaluation; number 2, metallurgical evaluation; number 3, X-ray evaluation; number 4, spectrographic evaluation; number 5, radiometric evaluation. Now let us discuss that what is the difference between prospecting and exploration. This is a very intriguing question. The answer depends on the following points. Number 1, locales. As the search area decreases and favorability of target improves, the locale shifts from air to ground and subsurface locations. Number 2, physical samples. As per the site shift from surface to below ground, direct method is used. Subsurface excavation methods are used. Most commonly used method is drilling. Number 3, data. To diminish the risk during the exploration stage, much more substantial data is required. The data are characterized by greater precision, specificity and certainty. What are the various exploration steps and stages? So, let us discuss the steps in exploration. Exploration is normally done in 3 steps. Number 1, area identified by prospecting must be delineated by exploration techniques. Once located, the mineral deposit is sampled thoroughly and impartially by systematic sampling and analysis of gathered samples. Sampling data are used to prepare a precise estimate of tonnage and grade, leading to valuation of deposit for preparing recommendations in respect of economic feasibility of mining operations. There are 4 stages in exploration program. Number 1, planning and area selection. Number 2, reconnaissance stage. Number 3, follow-up stage. Number 4, detailed stage. Now let us discuss each stage one by one. Planning and area selection stage, that is stage number 1. Exploration begins in this stage with the objective of selecting a promising area or region of perhaps 100,000 square kilometer based on geologic favorability. This includes comprehensive surveys to define a specific region with the greatest possibility, compilation of the available geologic information pertaining to area supported by the acquisition, followed by interpretation of photogeological and remote sensing data. In the planning stage itself, if required, rapid field traverses are undertaken to examine geologic features, radioactivity and general regional mineral distribution pattern by means of geochemical analysis. Thereafter, the geological data obtained from diverse sources is synthesized and brought out on maps prepared at a scale of 1:250,000 or 1:100,000. Subsequently, during the course of this stage, about 70 to 80% of the region is normally discarded, leaving one or more areas of around 20,000 to 30,000 square kilometer to be examined in the next stage of reconnaissance. Now, we shall discuss the activities in the reconnaissance stage. So, the reconnaissance stage aims at locating the areas of interest in the selected region, which bears greater mineral potentiality. Various exploration methods are used, such as airborne and radiometric surveys, geochemical investigations, radiometric and analytical data plotting. In this stage, generally 80% of the area surveyed is eliminated, while the remaining 20% emerges as the prospective target for the follow-up stage. In this stage, the areas of interest outlined during the reconnaissance stage are subjected to ground level investigation with a view to locate the extent of radioactive anomalies. Furthermore, the geological mapping is improved upon and the data are plotted on a scale of 1:50,000 or 1:25,000. Area of exploration is further narrowed down with increased sampling densities for enhanced geological evaluation. Generally, 10 to 15% of the area turns out to be highly promising, since the original area under study gets reduced to an area of perhaps 10 to 15 square kilometer, warranting a detailed comprehensive study. Now, the detailed stage. What is the detailed stage? It is in this stage direct indications of a mineral deposit are sought. In order to explore the deposit envisaged in this stage, a wide range of exploration methods is deployed depending upon the geological features and terrain configurations. The techniques commonly used are radiometric prospecting, detailed geochemical surveys, detailed geological mapping, trenching and pitting operations, core or rotary drilling, radiometric logging of the boreholes. The data developed in this stage is generally computed on maps on a scale of 1:500 or 1:1000. After detailed investigations, the nature and extent of ore grade mineralization, its shape, size, tonnage, etc. are distinctly defined and delineated in terms of its economic viability. Module 3. In this module, we will discuss exploration methods in slightly more detail, and this module also incorporates the methods of excavation, logging and analysis. Now, excavation and drilling is performed to access mineralization zone for hidden deposits. Excavation and drilling is also done to establish three-dimensional nature of deposits for outcropping type of deposits. Now, what is excavation and drilling? Drilling is an important component in any mineral exploration program. It is an indispensable tool for detailed subsurface evaluation of mineral deposits. It aims at evaluation of following key features of deposits. Number 1, dimension, number 2, thickness and number 3, grade. There are two types of drilling which are most commonly used in mineral exploration for hidden deposits, namely number 1, core drilling and number 2, non-core drilling. What is core drilling? Core drilling means continuous core samples are obtained in the core drilling method from the entire drilling depth. In the non-core drilling, on the other hand, no core is recovered. Instead, only the sludge, which is crushed rock cuttings, is only obtained. Selection of a particular method, that is how to decide whether to go for the core drilling or non-core drilling, is based on geological considerations and the envisaged exploration model. Drilling methods can also be classified as diamond drilling, auger or rotary drilling, percussion or rotary percussion drilling. Now, let us discuss these three drilling methods slightly in greater detail. Diamond drilling is used for consolidated rock at moderate to great depth and for conditions that require intact core samples. Cutting action is rotary in nature, with cutting accomplished by many small diamonds mounted or impregnated onto tungsten carbide bit matrix. Hole diameter ranges from 1.5 to 6.5 inch. Rotary drilling is mostly employed for soft to medium hard rock and soil. Its operation is limited to shallow depth. The hole diameter varies from 3.5 to 6 inch. One of the application is to penetrate overburden prior to diamond drilling also. For non-core drilling operations in a shallow hole and medium to hard rocks, percussion or rotary percussion drills are used. Because of favorable cost and speed with which they perform, they are used. Hole size ranges from 1.5 to 4 inch are normally in use. Now, we go to the excavation logging. Logging is carried out to determine the metal content of the borehole intercepts. It includes in situ sampling, assaying, lithological identification and stratigraphic correlations. Analytical determinations. Excavation and drill hole samples must be quantitatively analyzed in laboratory, and for this modern instruments are used: spectrometric gamma ray logging, density logging, resistivity and self potential logging, fission logging, X-ray fluorescence logging. After the analytical determinations, we go for the metallurgical testing of samples. This is done to ascertain the product marketing. Certain metallurgical tests need to be carried out on the samples for the purpose of determining an optimal beneficiation process for mineral, for approximate recovery of valuable minerals and for preparing the preliminary flow sheet for treatment. These tests normally involve geological examination, petrographic and mineralogical, screen analysis, crushing and grinding, gravity and heavy media concentration process. Also, it may involve magnetic, electrostatic and flotation methods. Module 4, Reserve Estimates. As we know that the reserve estimates is the final goal of any mineral exploration program, and in the reserve estimates the quantitative and qualitative classification of ore, whether it is mineral or coal, reserves into 3 or more geoeconomic categories is one of the important objectives of exploration. Mineral reserve estimation or ore estimation involves the calculation of extent and average grade or tenor of reserves in a deposit. Ore estimation is a process that begins during exploration with continuing refinement during the life of the mine. Data derived from ore estimation are the basic input for the preparation of any feasibility study, the outcome of which determines whether a mine is to be developed or not. Two general methods are in use for ore estimation. Number 1, the classical method, which employs two-dimensional maps and hand calculations. Number 2, the geostatistical method, which is a much more sophisticated approach requiring a digital computer to prepare statistically derived estimates. The raw data entering a reserve estimate are of course derived from sampling the deposit. The average grade of an ore deposit or of a specific block within the deposit is based on assays of samples representative of the deposit or block. The average is calculated from individual samples using the width, area or volume of influence exerted by each sample. The tonnage of an ore deposit is calculated from map measurements of area and volume converted to tonnage. A planimeter, an integrating measurement device, determines the area. Knowing the width of influence, the area can be converted to volume. The tonnage is obtained from the volume by dividing by the tonnage factor. Unit of the tonnage factor is in feet per cubic meter per ton, or it may be in cubic meter per ton. Knowing the specific gravity Sg, capital Sg, the specific weight small w, the tonnage factor can be calculated as follows. Specific weight small w is equal to 62.4 pound per feet cube into Sg, and the unit is pound per foot cube. W is equal to 1000 gram per kilogram multiplied by Sg in kilogram per cubic meter. Now, the calculation for tonnage factor capital Tf is equal to 2000 in pound per ton divided by small w, and the unit is feet cube divided by ton, and this means tonnage factor is equal to 1000 kilogram per ton divided by small w in cubic meter per ton. The results of a reserve estimate, however, are not derived from straight calculation. They must be tempered by judgment and modified by technical and economic realism. At least 3 factors must be estimated. Number 1, mining and processing recoveries. Number 2, waste dilution during mining, and number 3, cut-off grade. Their incorporation into the reserve estimate provides a much more honest and accurate result. Different classical procedures are used in calculating reserve estimates. They differ mainly in the ways in which they combine the sample data. While computer programs reduce the drudgery in repetitive jobs, handheld calculators are adequate for occasional work. Polygon method, triangle method and section method are often used for combining the sampling points and related data. Geostatistics is a method used for ore reserve estimation that involves the application of the mathematics of random functions to the reconnaissance of mineral deposit. Originating in South Africa and France in the early 1960s, it has been adopted enthusiastically in the United States. Properly applied geostatistics derives from the raw data the best possible estimates of ore body parameters. It not only provides a good and perhaps more accurate total reserve estimate, but a more reliable block by block reserve inventory, complete with meaningful confidence limits. While a working knowledge of geostatistics is beyond the scope of this text, mining engineering students should acquire an understanding of the procedure because eventually they may need to apply it. A geostatistical reserve estimate generally entails the following steps. Step number 1, study of geological controls on mineralization and any zoning of the deposit. Number 2, computation of variograms, which is a graphical correlation of mineral characteristic for each geological zone. Number 3, division of ore body into matrices of blocks for kriging. Kriging means calculation of block grade related to adjacent samples. Blocks are then classified as measured, indicated or inferred reserves. Number 4, estimation of tonnage and grade of each block at given cutoff grade. Number 5, printing of recoverable grade distribution plans by level or branch in the proposed mine. Finally, we come to the computer application in the field of exploration. Modern prospecting and exploration have become heavily dependent on the digital computer, and indications are that this dependency will increase in the coming years. To name a few examples, in the area of geophysical surveys, that is very important, sampling and drill hole layout, geostatistics, scheduling and planning, decision making is number 5. Now we come to the conclusions based on the lecture. The mineral exploration provides comprehensive and detailed information about the mineral reserves. It is a meticulous stage that calls for a comprehensive field based data collection by obtaining the samples, followed by good amount of laboratory tests to ascertain the grade and tonnage of the deposit. With the advancements in the computer codes and graphics, there is an overwhelming application of computers in current day exploration program. A sound exploration program is extremely useful in preparing a good feasibility report of the envisaged mining project. Thank you so much.